In the modern world, the concept of family has undergone a profound transformation. The traditional family unit, once the bedrock of societal structure, is now being reshaped by cultural shifts, technological advancements, and personal choices. Among these changes, an increasing number of individuals find themselves grappling with the reality of living without a family. For women, this shift carries unique challenges and opportunities that require both societal and individual reflection. Loneliness is often dubbed the silent epidemic of our age. According to recent studies, over 60% of adults in high-income countries report feelings of loneliness at some point in their lives. This is especially true for women who, by societal expectations, are often perceived as natural nurturers and caretakers. When a woman finds herself without a family, whether by circumstance or choice, the emotional toll can be profound. The modern narrative of independence and personal freedom celebrates the idea of self-sufficiency. While empowering, this can sometimes clash with the innate human need for connection and belonging. Jordan Peterson, a renowned psychologist and thinker, often speaks about the importance of responsibility and meaning in life. According to Peterson, the family is one of the central pillars that anchor individuals in a chaotic world. Without this anchor, a woman may feel adrift, navigating uncharted waters of solitude and societal judgment. Loneliness is not merely the absence of people, it is the absence of meaningful relationships. For women who have no family, this loneliness often stems from societal stigmatization. Questions like, why isn't she married, or why doesn't she have children, are not just casual inquiries but societal expectations disguised as concern. These questions often force women into introspection, making them question their own life choices and worth. Technology, while connecting the world, paradoxically isolates individuals. Social media platforms create an illusion of connection while often exacerbating feelings of inadequacy and loneliness. Seeing curated lives of others, perfect families, loving relationships, and cherished memories, can intensify a woman's sense of isolation if she has no family to share such experiences with. The emotional landscape, the emotional toll of living without a family can manifest in various ways: anxiety, depression, and even physical health issues. Women often bear a dual burden: internal struggles with loneliness and external pressures to conform to societal norms. This duality creates a complex emotional landscape that requires resilience, self-awareness, and a redefinition of purpose. The role of family in a woman's life has been a cornerstone of cultural narratives for centuries. Traditionally, women have been seen as the heart of the family, nurturing children and maintaining the household. This role, while celebrated, has often been restrictive, confining women to specific expectations and responsibilities. In modern times, the concept of family has evolved significantly. Women now have the freedom to choose careers, travel, and lead lives that are independent of traditional family structures. Yet, this freedom comes with its own set of challenges. The tension between traditional expectations and modern aspirations creates a unique dilemma for women navigating life without a family. Traditional perspectives: historically, family has been a source of identity, security, and purpose for women. In many cultures, marriage and motherhood were considered the ultimate achievements for a woman. This perspective not only defined a woman's role but also dictated her value in society. A woman without a family was often seen as incomplete or unsuccessful, a notion that persists in some communities even today. Jordan Peterson often highlights the importance of tradition in providing structure and meaning to life. According to him, traditional roles and responsibilities, while seemingly restrictive, offer a framework within which individuals can find purpose. For women, the family has historically been such a framework. However, as society progresses, these traditional structures are being questioned and redefined. Modern perspectives, the rise of feminism and the push for gender equality have given women the agency to redefine their roles in society. The modern woman is no longer confined to the domestic sphere; she is a leader, innovator, and creator. This shift has allowed women to pursue lives independent of traditional family roles. Yet, it has also brought forth a new set of questions. What does fulfillment look like outside of a family, And how can women navigate the loneliness that often accompanies this independence? While modern perspectives celebrate individualism, they also emphasize the importance of community and connection. For women without a family, building a family of choice, a network of friends, mentors, and peers, can provide the emotional support and sense of belonging traditionally offered by biological families. Balancing tradition and modernity. The challenge for many women lies in balancing the weight of tradition with the aspirations of modernity. While some women embrace independence wholeheartedly, others struggle to reconcile societal expectations with personal desires. This balancing act requires introspection and courage, as well as a willingness to challenge societal norms. Jordan Peterson, a Canadian clinical psychologist, cultural critic, and professor, has become an influential voice in discussions surrounding individual responsibility, personal growth, and the search for meaning in life. Through his extensive work, including his best-selling book 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos, Peterson argues that the key to a fulfilling life lies in the individual's capacity to take responsibility for their own circumstances, actions, and choices. He asserts that meaning is not something that is passively discovered or given to us, but something that we actively create through the exercise of responsibility. At the core of Peterson's philosophy is the belief that modern society often undermines personal responsibility by promoting a victimhood culture. Many individuals today focus heavily on external factors, be it their upbringing, society, or past trauma, believing that these forces define who they are and what they are capable of. Peterson, however, suggests that while external circumstances do have an impact, it is ultimately the individual's response to these challenges that determines their path. The key is not to surrender to helplessness but to take responsibility and act with purpose. The role of responsibility in meaning. One of Peterson's most powerful messages is that meaning in life is not handed to us by fate or luck, but is instead something that we actively pursue. He explains that meaning is something that arises when we accept the responsibility for our lives and actively engage with the world around us. He draws on both psychological principles and philosophical ideas to argue that without responsibility, life can become hollow and devoid of purpose. For Peterson, responsibility isn't just about fulfilling duties or obligations, it's about confronting the challenges life throws at us with the intent to improve ourselves and our circumstances. This could mean taking responsibility for our mistakes, for the ways we treat others, or for the impact we have on the world. By doing so, we begin to create a narrative in our lives that is both meaningful and motivating. One of Peterson's most famous rules is set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. This is a call to take responsibility for one's personal situation before attempting to address larger societal problems. It suggests that before we look outward for solutions, we should first examine our own lives, our choices, and our actions. Only when we take control of our own lives can we be in a position to meaningfully contribute to others or to society. Overcoming suffering and finding purpose. Peterson is well aware of the suffering and hardship that individuals face. In fact, he does not shy away from the painful realities of existence. He acknowledges that life is filled with suffering, from personal struggles like illness and loss to societal challenges. However, rather than succumb to despair, Peterson advocates for using this suffering as a catalyst for growth. In his view, suffering is an inevitable part of the human condition, and it is through confronting this suffering head-on that we develop resilience and find meaning. Rather than seeking to avoid pain or discomfort, Peterson encourages individuals to embrace their struggles and see them as opportunities for development. The willingness to confront difficult situations, rather than retreating into denial or avoidance, allows us to grow stronger and more capable. Peterson draws on a variety of sources, from religious traditions to literature, to show that meaning is often derived from the willingness to bear the burden of existence. In 12 Rules for Life, he frequently refers to the archetype of the hero's journey found in mythological stories, where the hero faces adversity, overcomes challenges, and in the process, discovers their true purpose. Peterson believes that every individual has the potential to be the hero of their own story, but this requires taking responsibility for the challenges they face and not shirking from their duties. The link between responsibility and mental health. Peterson also connects responsibility to mental health. In his clinical work, he has seen firsthand how the lack of personal responsibility can contribute to mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, and despair. When individuals feel that their lives are out of their control, they may become overwhelmed by feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. This is where taking responsibility becomes transformative. By choosing to take responsibility for even the smallest aspects of one's life, whether it's organizing one's living space, following through on commitments, or addressing personal faults, individuals can regain a sense of agency and control. In doing so, they begin to rebuild their self-esteem and sense of purpose, which can be crucial for improving mental health. Peterson's emphasis on responsibility as a pathway to mental well-being is rooted in his belief that human beings thrive when they have a clear sense of direction and purpose. By setting goals, working toward them, and taking responsibility for their outcomes, individuals not only find meaning but also develop the resilience needed to navigate life's inevitable challenges. Responsibility and the greater good. While Peterson stresses the importance of individual responsibility, he also acknowledges that this responsibility extends beyond the self. Taking responsibility for one's actions includes contributing positively to the broader community and society. In his lectures, Peterson often speaks about the importance of caring for others, whether it's through personal relationships, work, or community involvement. Responsibility is not just an inward journey, but a means of fostering a sense of connection with others. Moreover, Peterson often contrasts individualism with collectivism. While he does not dismiss the value of community, he warns against collectivist ideologies that demand conformity and suppress individual autonomy. True societal progress, in Peterson's view, comes when individuals take responsibility for their own lives and use that personal strength to contribute to the common good. Responsibility, therefore, is not just about personal development but also about creating a better world through individual action. Responsibility as the foundation for meaning. At the heart of Jordan Peterson's teachings is the assertion that meaning in life is intricately tied to personal responsibility. This concept is rooted in his broader view of human existence. Life is full of suffering, but it is through facing this suffering and taking responsibility for our actions that we are able to find purpose and meaning. Peterson contends that people who avoid responsibility or look outward to blame external forces for their struggles are doomed to live in a state of chaos and aimlessness. Peterson draws on a wide range of sources, from evolutionary biology to existential philosophy, to demonstrate that responsibility is not only an essential part of being human, but it is also the key to a fulfilling life. From a psychological perspective, taking responsibility is empowering. When individuals begin to make choices and take ownership of their lives, they regain a sense of agency, something that is often lost in today's world, where many feel like passive participants in a society they cannot control. For Peterson, responsibility is not just about fulfilling obligations or meeting the expectations of others. It's about facing the truth about one's own limitations, flaws, and mistakes and taking active steps to improve. Personal responsibility means confronting the messiness of life head-on, whether that involves setting goals, mending relationships, or accepting the consequences of one's actions. Peterson uses the example of cleaning one's room as a metaphor for responsibility. He famously encourages his readers to clean their room before attempting to fix the larger world. This advice is not merely about physical cleanliness, it's a call to put one's personal life in order as a precondition for engaging with the wider world. If we cannot manage the small aspects of our own lives, how can we hope to contribute meaningfully to society or the world around us? By taking responsibility for the things within our control, such as our physical environment, our health, our emotions, and our choices, we begin to build a foundation for greater meaning. The role of suffering and adversity. One of the central themes in Peterson's philosophy is that suffering is an inevitable part of life, and it is through facing this suffering that individuals find purpose. Rather than viewing suffering as something to avoid at all costs, Peterson suggests that we must embrace it as an integral part of our human experience. This is where the idea of personal responsibility intersects with adversity. By taking responsibility for how we respond to suffering, we can transform it into a source of meaning. Peterson's views are heavily influenced by existential philosophy, particularly the works of Viktor Frankl, the Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust and later wrote Man's Search for Meaning. Frankl's central thesis was that meaning could be found even in the most horrific of circumstances, and it was through one's response to suffering that this meaning emerged. Peterson echoes this sentiment, arguing that individuals who confront their pain head-on, rather than running away from it, can cultivate resilience, strength, and a deeper sense of purpose. For Peterson, suffering is not just something to survive but something to learn from. He often draws on the archetype of the hero's journey, found in myths, religious texts, and literature, where the hero faces great adversity, overcomes challenges, and emerges transformed. Peterson believes that every individual has the potential to embark on their own hero's journey, but only if they take responsibility for the challenges they face. By adopting a mindset that sees suffering as an opportunity for growth rather than a tragedy to be avoided, individuals can shift their perspective on life. Instead of feeling defeated by hardships, they can see them as the means through which they develop resilience, find purpose, and strengthen their character. This perspective encourages individuals to move forward despite obstacles, knowing that meaning is often forged in the fires of adversity. Practical applications of responsibility. While Peterson's theories are profound, their true value lies in their application. He does not offer abstract ideas without practical consequences. In fact, much of his work is centered on offering tangible advice for living a meaningful life. One of his central pieces of advice is to take responsibility for one's immediate environment. This involves everything from organizing one's living space to managing time effectively and taking care of one's physical health. The idea is that small acts of responsibility, when accumulated, can lead to major transformations in a person's life. Peterson often emphasizes that meaningful change doesn't happen all at once, but rather is the result of consistent, incremental progress. By making small, manageable improvements in various areas of life, individuals can eventually create a more structured and meaningful existence. This process also involves setting goals that are realistic, specific, and aligned with one's values. When individuals set clear, actionable goals and hold themselves accountable for pursuing them, they move from a state of passive existence to one of proactive engagement. One of the central paradoxes in Peterson's work is the relationship between freedom and responsibility. While many people desire freedom, Peterson argues that true freedom is only attainable when individuals take responsibility for their actions, circumstances, and lives. He often notes that freedom without responsibility leads to chaos, confusion, and a sense of purposelessness. In essence, freedom can be overwhelming if it is not tethered to a sense of personal responsibility. Peterson frequently cites examples from history, psychology, and philosophy to illustrate the idea that the pursuit of freedom without responsibility often results in disastrous consequences. Drawing from the works of existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre and Friedrich Nietzsche, Peterson asserts that human beings must first acknowledge their capacity for free will before they can navigate the responsibility that comes with it. For Sartre, this was the idea of radical freedom, which forces individuals to confront the burden of making choices in an uncertain world. Peterson takes this concept further by arguing that it is only through accepting the weight of responsibility that people can achieve true freedom, the freedom to make meaningful choices, to change one's life, and to contribute positively to society. Moreover, Peterson stresses that the responsibility we take on isn't just for personal growth, it extends to our relationships and the communities we inhabit. For example, if we shirk responsibility in our relationships, whether with family, friends, or coworkers, we risk fracturing those connections and losing the sense of support and meaning that they provide. In contrast, when we take responsibility in these areas, we cultivate stronger, more fulfilling relationships that contribute to our overall well-being. This notion of earned freedom underscores Peterson's belief that the path to meaning is not about accumulating rights or privileges but about making responsible choices, even when those choices are difficult. Only when individuals assume responsibility for their lives can they begin to shape their destiny and make choices that lead to a meaningful existence. The hero's journey, embracing the struggles of life. In Peterson's view, the archetype of the hero's journey offers a powerful model for understanding the importance of responsibility in the search for meaning. The hero's journey is a narrative pattern that appears in myths, religious stories, and literature across cultures. It involves a protagonist who faces significant challenges, confronts inner and outer demons, and ultimately transforms through their trials. Peterson frequently draws upon this archetype in his lectures and writings, particularly in his book 12 Rules for Life. He suggests that every individual is capable of becoming the hero of their own story. However, this transformation only occurs when one is willing to confront life's difficulties, take responsibility for their circumstances, and persist through hardship. For example, in his Rule 7, pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient, Peterson argues that individuals often choose the easy path, the path that promises immediate gratification or temporary relief, rather than pursuing the difficult, but ultimately meaningful, course of action. This ties back to the idea of the hero's journey. The hero doesn't take the easy way out. Instead, they face their trials head-on and learn from their experiences. Peterson uses the example of the biblical story of Adam and Eve, who, after making their fateful choice in the Garden of Eden, had to take responsibility for the consequences of their actions. In this way, their fall from grace marks the beginning of the human journey towards self-awareness and responsibility. Peterson interprets this story not as a tale of shame, but as an illustration of the importance of accepting responsibility for one's choices, no matter how dire the consequences may seem. He argues that only by facing the consequences of our actions, as Adam and Eve did, can we begin the journey toward personal transformation and meaning. Practical examples of responsibility in daily life. While Peterson's ideas may seem abstract at times, they can be readily applied to everyday life. One of the hallmarks of his philosophy is its focus on practical advice, steps that individuals can take to bring order and meaning to their lives. Peterson's advice is rooted in his deep understanding of human psychology and his belief that small, incremental changes can lead to profound transformations. Start with small responsibilities. Peterson often advises people to begin by taking responsibility for the small things in life. This might mean something as simple as cleaning your room, organizing your living space, or waking up on time. These small acts of responsibility can have a ripple effect, leading to larger changes in behavior. When we take care of our immediate environment, we set the stage for greater control over our lives. These seemingly insignificant actions help build the foundation for more complex responsibilities, such as managing our careers, relationships, and personal goals. Confronting difficult conversations. Another practical application of responsibility is the act of confronting difficult or uncomfortable conversations. Whether it's addressing conflict in relationships, standing up for oneself, or having an honest discussion about personal boundaries, these conversations often hold the key to resolving internal and external conflicts. Peterson emphasizes that avoiding these conversations can lead to resentment and confusion. When we take responsibility for addressing issues directly, we create healthier, more authentic connections with others. Setting meaningful goals. Setting goals is another key aspect of taking responsibility in life. Peterson encourages individuals to set clear, meaningful goals, goals that align with their values and long-term vision for their lives. Without goals, life can feel directionless and chaotic. By setting goals that challenge us but are achievable, we can begin to build a sense of progress and accomplishment. Peterson warns against setting goals that are too vague or unrealistic, as this can lead to frustration and discouragement. Instead, he advocates for breaking down larger ambitions into manageable tasks, allowing individuals to experience success along the way. Responsibility as a path to meaning. Ultimately, Peterson's insights on individual responsibility and meaning converge on the idea that personal growth and fulfillment come from accepting responsibility for every aspect of one's life. Whether it's dealing with personal suffering, facing challenges head-on, or improving our relationships, responsibility is the driving force behind meaning. Peterson emphasizes that meaning doesn't come from external validation or fleeting pleasures, it is created through the choices we make every day. By embracing responsibility, we can transform suffering into growth, chaos into order, and meaninglessness into purpose. Peterson's work is a call to action, to stop blaming others or external forces for our difficulties, and instead to focus on what we can control, our own actions, behaviors, and decisions. In embracing responsibility, we take the first step on the journey toward becoming the best version of ourselves. This journey, while challenging, offers the potential for profound transformation and fulfillment. It is not an easy path, but it is the only one that offers true meaning. The psychological effects of isolation and the search for belonging. Introduction. Human beings are inherently social creatures, evolved to live within communities, form connections, and share experiences. The need for social bonds and belonging is deeply ingrained in our biology and psychology. Yet, in an increasingly individualistic and fast-paced world, many people are experiencing a profound sense of isolation. Whether through physical distance, emotional disconnection, or digital over-reliance, isolation has become a significant concern for mental health across the globe. The psychological effects of isolation are both complex and far-reaching, impacting not only emotional well-being but also physical health, cognitive function, and overall life satisfaction. This section delves into the psychological effects of isolation and explores how it can lead to a search for belonging. The need to belong is a fundamental human drive, and it is through our connections with others that we often find meaning, purpose, and validation. When these connections are disrupted, whether by external forces or personal choices, the quest for belonging intensifies, becoming a key aspect of the human experience. Understanding the effects of isolation and the importance of belonging is crucial for developing strategies to combat loneliness and foster more meaningful social connections. In this section, we will examine the science behind isolation, the psychological toll it takes on individuals, and the deep-seated human need for social connection. We will also discuss how the search for belonging drives behavior and decision-making, and the ways in which individuals can overcome isolation to create more fulfilling and connected lives. The science behind isolation. Isolation, both social and emotional, has been shown to have profound effects on the brain and body. From an evolutionary perspective, human beings are wired for social interaction. Our survival as a species historically depended on our ability to form and maintain social bonds, whether in small family units, tribal communities, or larger social structures. When isolated, the brain perceives this as a threat, triggering stress responses that can have negative impacts on both mental and physical health. One of the primary physiological reactions to isolation is the activation of the stress response system, often referred to as the fight or flight response. When isolated, individuals experience higher levels of cortisol, the hormone associated with stress. Prolonged isolation and chronic stress can lead to an array of psychological problems, such as anxiety, depression, and cognitive decline. Studies have shown that social isolation is linked to increased risks of heart disease, weakened immune function, and even shortened life expectancy. Beyond the physical effects, isolation has a profound impact on mental health. The absence of social interaction can lead to feelings of loneliness, which often manifests as a sense of emptiness, sadness, and a lack of purpose. The brain is wired to seek connection, and when that need is unmet, individuals can experience emotional pain similar to physical injury. For example, research on brain activity has shown that feelings of social exclusion activate the same regions of the brain that respond to physical pain. The psychological toll of isolation is not limited to extreme cases of solitude. In today's world, even individuals surrounded by people, whether in crowded cities or through virtual connections, can feel a deep sense of loneliness. This disconnect, often referred to as social isolation in a crowded world, occurs when relationships are superficial, unfulfilling, or lack emotional depth. Despite being physically present in a social setting, individuals may still feel emotionally disconnected and isolated from others, leading to feelings of alienation and disconnection. The role of social bonds in mental health. Social connections play a crucial role in mental health. Human beings thrive on interaction with others, and meaningful relationships can provide the emotional support needed to cope with life's challenges. These relationships, whether with family, friends, or romantic partners, create a sense of security and belonging that is vital for emotional well-being. From a psychological perspective, the sense of belonging has been shown to activate areas of the brain associated with reward and pleasure. In contrast, feelings of social exclusion can activate areas of the brain related to pain and distress. This dynamic highlights the importance of social bonds in regulating our emotional states and maintaining mental equilibrium. Social connections provide several psychological benefits. Emotional support. Having close relationships provides individuals with a safety net during times of stress or difficulty. Emotional support from others helps individuals feel understood and validated, reducing feelings of anxiety or depression. In challenging times, the ability to lean on others for comfort and advice can make all the difference in how one copes with adversity. Identity and self-worth. Relationships contribute significantly to one's sense of identity. Through interactions with others, individuals define who they are, what they value, and how they view themselves in relation to the world. Positive social bonds contribute to healthy self-esteem and self-worth, while negative or toxic relationships can lead to feelings of inadequacy or low self-esteem. Social validation. Human beings seek validation from others as a means of confirming their worth and place in society. The desire for social approval is deeply rooted in our psychology, and being part of a group or community reinforces this sense of acceptance. In the absence of these affirmations, individuals may struggle with self-doubt or a sense of disconnection from others. Cognitive and emotional growth. Healthy relationships promote cognitive and emotional growth. Interacting with others provides opportunities to learn, share experiences, and challenge personal beliefs. These exchanges can help individuals expand their perspectives and develop greater empathy and emotional intelligence. In essence, social bonds are not just a luxury or a source of happiness, they are essential for maintaining mental health and resilience. The absence of these bonds leaves individuals vulnerable to emotional and psychological distress, leading to a cascade of negative effects on their overall well-being. The search for belonging. The need to belong is one of the most fundamental human drives. This drive manifests in various ways throughout a person's life, from the desire for friendship and intimacy to the need for community and purpose. Belonging provides individuals with a sense of identity, security, and connection, making it an essential component of emotional and psychological health. When people experience a lack of belonging, they often seek to fill this void through various means. These attempts may take the form of seeking validation from social media, joining groups or organizations, or even adopting behaviors or ideologies that align with a particular community. In many cases, the search for belonging can become an obsession, as individuals attempt to find a sense of purpose and connection. However, the search for belonging is not always straightforward. The quest to fit in can sometimes lead to the adoption of unhealthy or harmful behaviors. For instance, individuals may sacrifice their personal values or well-being in order to conform to the expectations of a particular group. This phenomenon is known as groupthink, where the desire to belong overrides independent thought and decision-making. On the other hand, the search for belonging can also lead to positive outcomes. Many people find purpose and fulfillment by joining communities that align with their values and interests. These communities, whether they are based on shared hobbies, ideologies, or life experiences, provide individuals with a sense of belonging that strengthens their emotional resilience and overall happiness. Peterson, in particular, emphasizes the importance of belonging in the context of family and community. In his view, individuals who are isolated from their families or communities are at a greater risk of mental health issues, addiction, and a sense of purposelessness. For Peterson, belonging is not just about finding validation from others, it is about becoming part of something larger than oneself, contributing to society, and finding meaning in one's relationships and role within the community. Overcoming isolation and fostering connection. While the psychological effects of isolation are undeniable, there are strategies that individuals can use to overcome loneliness and cultivate a sense of belonging. The first step is acknowledging the impact that isolation has on one's well-being and taking active steps to change the situation. Building meaningful relationships. Building deep, meaningful relationships is the foundation of overcoming isolation. This requires vulnerability, openness, and a willingness to invest in others. Whether through family, friendships, or romantic relationships, the key to fostering connection is emotional intimacy and trust. Quality is far more important than quantity when it comes to relationships. Engaging in community. Being part of a community can provide individuals with a sense of purpose and belonging. Community engagement can take many forms, such as volunteering, joining social or hobby groups, or participating in local events. These activities not only connect individuals with others but also create opportunities for personal growth and contribution. Seeking professional help. For individuals struggling with chronic isolation or feelings of loneliness, seeking professional help may be necessary. Therapists and counselors can help individuals understand the root causes of their isolation and develop strategies to build connections with others. Conclusion. Isolation is a powerful force that can take a heavy toll on mental, emotional, and physical health. The human need for connection and belonging is profound, and when this need is unmet, individuals may experience a wide range of psychological and physiological consequences. However, the search for belonging is not hopeless. Through meaningful relationships, community engagement, and self-awareness, individuals can overcome isolation and build connections that promote well-being, happiness, and fulfillment. The path to self-discovery, building your own family of choice. Introduction. The idea of a family of choice is both a personal and relational journey, one that challenges traditional notions of familial bonds. In a world where the conventional family structure has undergone significant changes, many individuals are finding that they can create meaningful, fulfilling relationships that resemble the support and closeness of a family, even without biological connections. This process of self-discovery and the building of a chosen family allows individuals to break free from societal expectations and cultivate authentic relationships that reflect their values, goals, and emotional needs. Self-discovery plays a pivotal role in this journey. To form a family of choice, individuals must first embark on the path of understanding who they are, what they value, and what they seek in relationships. It is a process of defining one's identity and developing the ability to form connections based on shared experiences, mutual respect, and emotional resonance. Building a family of choice is not just about finding people who meet immediate needs, it is about cultivating long-term bonds that contribute to personal growth, emotional resilience, and mutual support. This section will explore the relationship between self-discovery and the formation of a family of choice. It will look at the psychological and emotional benefits of creating a community of individuals who provide the same sense of belonging and support that a traditional family structure offers. Moreover, it will address the challenges and rewards that come with choosing your family, particularly in the context of the broader societal dynamics of familial expectations and individual freedom. The importance of self-discovery in building your own family. Self-discovery is at the heart of creating meaningful, authentic relationships. Before one can build a family of choice, it is essential to understand one's own identity, needs, and emotional landscape. Without a clear sense of who we are, we risk forming relationships based on external expectations or superficial connections that do not foster long-term fulfillment. Understanding your values and needs. Self-discovery begins with introspection. By taking the time to reflect on one's core values, desires, and boundaries, individuals can gain clarity on what they want from their relationships. What qualities do you value most in a person? What kind of support do you need in times of crisis or challenge? What kind of emotional reciprocity are you seeking? These are all crucial questions in building a family of choice. The process of self-discovery allows individuals to identify their emotional needs and seek relationships that honor these needs. For example, someone who values intellectual stimulation might prioritize relationships with individuals who can engage in deep, thoughtful conversations. Others might prioritize loyalty, trust, or compassion. Understanding these values is the first step in curating a support system that reflects your inner world. Healing from past trauma and building trust. Self-discovery is also about healing from past experiences and overcoming emotional barriers. For many, creating a family of choice involves addressing past traumas, whether they stem from biological family dynamics or previous relationships. Healing is essential because it enables individuals to form new relationships from a place of emotional strength and clarity, rather than from a place of fear or unresolved pain. Trust is a crucial element in any relationship, and for many, the act of building trust involves healing past wounds. Once individuals have addressed their personal histories and emotional challenges, they are better equipped to form secure, supportive relationships with others who share similar values and emotional depth. Defining the family of choice. A family of choice refers to a network of individuals whom one selects to be part of their emotional and social support system. Unlike biological families, which are defined by blood relations, a family of choice is built on mutual affection, trust, and shared values. This chosen family might include close friends, mentors, romantic partners, or other significant figures who offer emotional support, understanding, and a sense of belonging. Friendships as familial bonds. Friendships often serve as the foundation of a chosen family. Close friends who provide unwavering support, encouragement, and understanding can fill the roles that traditional family members might play. These individuals offer a sense of safety and belonging, and many chosen families function like traditional ones in terms of emotional attachment and care. For example, some people find that their closest friends are the ones they turn to in times of need, whether they are celebrating success or navigating hardship. In these instances, friendships transcend the conventional boundary of mere companionship, evolving into familial bonds based on deep trust and shared experiences. Mentors and role models. Mentors often play a critical role in a chosen family, providing guidance, wisdom, and emotional support. Unlike biological family members, mentors are typically chosen for their ability to inspire and help navigate personal and professional challenges. These figures might serve as parents or elders in the family of choice, offering wisdom, advice, and sometimes even practical assistance during challenging times. The relationship with a mentor often transcends the traditional mentor-mentee dynamic, evolving into a familial bond based on respect, care, and mutual admiration. A mentor can become a surrogate parent figure, offering guidance and emotional support as the individual navigates the complexities of life. Romantic partners as family. Romantic relationships often take on a familial quality, especially when partners share deep emotional bonds, align with similar values, and provide each other with support through both good and difficult times. In these relationships, the sense of family emerges from mutual respect, intimacy, and a shared commitment to building a future together. The chosen partner becomes a person with whom one builds a life, shares dreams, and navigates life's challenges. The benefits of a chosen family. Building a family of choice offers a multitude of psychological and emotional benefits. As individuals curate a support system of people who align with their values, they often find a greater sense of fulfillment and security. Emotional fulfillment. A chosen family provides a level of emotional support that is often more tailored to an individual's specific needs than a biological family might. These bonds are not dictated by societal norms or expectations but are based on genuine affection and understanding. As a result, individuals within a chosen family often experience deeper emotional fulfillment and a sense of emotional safety. Personal growth and empowerment. Being part of a chosen family can help individuals grow emotionally and spiritually. These relationships provide a foundation for growth, offering encouragement and constructive feedback. Within the family of choice, individuals can pursue personal growth without fear of judgment, as the relationships are based on trust, acceptance, and mutual respect. Building resilience. A chosen family serves as a source of strength in times of hardship. When individuals experience setbacks or challenges, they can lean on their chosen family for support. The emotional resilience that comes from having a reliable, supportive network cannot be overstated. Individuals within a chosen family often find that their emotional strength is enhanced by their connections to others. Flexibility and freedom. One of the unique advantages of a chosen family is the flexibility it offers. Unlike traditional family structures, which can sometimes be rigid or influenced by external expectations, a family of choice can evolve based on the needs and dynamics of the individuals involved. People are free to build relationships that are meaningful to them, without the constraints of biological obligation. Challenges in building a chosen family. While building a family of choice offers numerous benefits, it is not without its challenges. Forming deep, lasting relationships requires time, effort, and emotional investment. Overcoming initial barriers. One of the first challenges individuals may face in building a chosen family is overcoming initial barriers to trust and emotional vulnerability. Many individuals carry emotional scars from previous relationships or family dynamics, which can make it difficult to open up to others. Overcoming these barriers requires patience, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront past emotional pain. Balancing multiple relationships. A chosen family is made up of multiple individuals, and managing these relationships requires emotional intelligence and communication. Balancing the needs and dynamics of various individuals within the chosen family can sometimes be complicated, as different people may have different expectations or communication styles. However, with clear boundaries and open communication, these challenges can be navigated successfully. Society's expectations versus personal freedom, a woman's dilemma. Introduction. Throughout history, women have been subject to societal expectations that dictate their roles, behaviors, and aspirations. These expectations often stem from deeply ingrained cultural norms, religious beliefs, and historical precedents that have shaped the way women are perceived and the opportunities available to them. In many societies, women have been expected to adhere to certain roles, such as being mothers, wives, caretakers, and nurturers, often at the expense of their own desires, personal freedom, and self-actualization. While significant strides have been made toward gender equality and women's rights in recent decades, women still face unique challenges when it comes to navigating the tension between societal expectations and personal freedom. This tension can manifest in various ways. In the professional sphere, women are often expected to balance careers with traditional family roles. In personal relationships, women may be pressured to conform to ideals of femininity and submission, and in broader societal contexts, women may feel the weight of expectations around beauty, behavior, and success. This section explores how societal expectations conflict with the desire for personal freedom and autonomy. We will examine the ways in which these pressures shape women's choices, mental health, and overall well-being. Additionally, we will delve into how women can navigate these societal norms while still maintaining their sense of self and agency. In a world that increasingly values individuality and personal empowerment, how can women break free from external constraints and pursue their own paths to happiness and fulfillment? The historical context of women's roles. To understand the dilemma between societal expectations and personal freedom, it is important to first examine the historical context that has shaped women's roles. For centuries, women have been confined to specific roles within the family and society. In many cultures, women were seen as secondary to men, with their primary function being to support and serve male figures, whether as daughters, wives, or mothers. In many societies, education for women was limited, and career opportunities were scarce. Women's worth was often measured by their ability to marry well, bear children, and manage the household. These roles were reinforced by religious teachings, legal structures, and cultural practices, all of which emphasized the importance of women's subordination to male authority. However, with the rise of feminist movements in the 19th and 20th centuries, significant changes began to occur. Women fought for and won the right to vote, access to higher education, reproductive rights, and the ability to pursue careers outside the home. Despite these advancements, the remnants of traditional gender expectations continue to shape societal norms and women's experiences today. Although women now have greater access to education and career opportunities than ever before, they are still expected to juggle these aspirations with family roles. In some parts of the world, cultural expectations around femininity, motherhood, and marriage continue to place pressure on women to conform to traditional roles. As a result, many women experience a sense of conflict as they try to balance their own desires for personal freedom with the weight of societal expectations. The pressure to conform, beauty standards, motherhood, and marriage. One of the most pervasive societal expectations placed on women is related to beauty standards. From a young age, girls are socialized to conform to certain ideals of attractiveness, often characterized by thinness, youth, and specific physical features. These beauty standards are reinforced through media, advertising, and popular culture, making it difficult for women to escape the pressure to meet these expectations. For many women, the pursuit of beauty becomes an all-encompassing goal that takes precedence over other aspects of their lives. Women may spend significant time and money on maintaining their appearance, often at the expense of their physical and mental well-being. The constant comparison to idealized beauty standards can lead to body dissatisfaction, low self-esteem, and anxiety. In addition to beauty standards, women are often expected to fulfill the role of mother. While motherhood can be a deeply fulfilling experience for many women, the societal pressure to become a mother, whether through biological reproduction or adoption, can be overwhelming. In many cultures, motherhood is seen as an essential part of a woman's identity and purpose. This pressure is often compounded by the idea that women are naturally inclined toward nurturing and caregiving, roles that are still disproportionately expected of them, even in the face of career ambitions or personal aspirations. The decision to marry, have children, and conform to traditional family structures is yet another area in which women face societal pressure. While these decisions are deeply personal, many women feel the weight of societal expectations surrounding marriage and motherhood. The idea that a woman's life is incomplete without a partner or children can create immense pressure for those who are single or childless by choice. These pressures are often compounded by the unrealistic portrayal of marriage and motherhood in popular media, which presents an idealized version of family life. The expectation that women must maintain a perfect home, be emotionally available for their families, and simultaneously achieve success in the workplace can lead to burnout and emotional distress. Women who do not conform to these traditional roles may face criticism, judgment, or alienation, further reinforcing the tension between societal expectations and personal freedom. The quest for personal freedom, defining identity outside traditional roles. As women navigate the complexities of societal expectations, many seek personal freedom to define their identities, make their own choices, and pursue their passions without being tethered to the roles prescribed by society. This quest for autonomy often involves challenging the status quo and rejecting outdated gender norms that limit women's opportunities for personal fulfillment. For some women, the path to personal freedom may involve pursuing non-traditional careers, such as in the arts, entrepreneurship, or fields that have historically been dominated by men. These women challenge the conventional notion that women must prioritize family over career or personal aspirations. By choosing unconventional career paths, they break free from the pressures to conform to traditional gender roles and instead prioritize their own ambitions and goals. Similarly, many women are redefining their identities outside of marriage and motherhood. While these experiences may still hold significant meaning for some, they are no longer seen as prerequisites for a fulfilling life. Women are increasingly choosing to remain single, pursue relationships that are not centered on traditional gender roles, or forego having children in order to focus on their careers, passions, or personal growth. This shift in mindset allows women to explore a broader range of identities and possibilities, free from the constraints of societal norms. The ability to make choices based on personal desires rather than societal pressures is a critical aspect of personal freedom. Women who reject the expectations placed upon them by society often experience a sense of empowerment and liberation. They can cultivate lives that are more aligned with their authentic selves, rather than adhering to prescribed roles that may not serve their true needs. Navigating the tension, balancing societal expectations and personal desires. While personal freedom and autonomy are highly valued in modern society, many women still find themselves caught between societal expectations and personal desires. The pressure to conform to traditional roles, whether in terms of appearance, family life, or career, can be difficult to escape. Women may feel torn between pursuing their own paths and meeting the expectations of others, especially in cultures that place high value on conformity and traditional gender roles. However, many women are finding ways to navigate this tension by embracing their agency and asserting their right to define their own lives. This might involve setting boundaries. Setting clear boundaries is essential in balancing societal expectations with personal desires. Women can establish limits on the time and energy they devote to fulfilling societal roles, whether that means reducing their focus on meeting beauty standards, rejecting the pressure to marry or have children, or making career decisions that prioritize personal fulfillment over external approval. Building supportive communities. Creating or joining communities of like-minded women who share similar values and goals can provide emotional support and validation. These communities help women feel empowered in their pursuit of personal freedom, offering encouragement and solidarity as they navigate societal pressures. Redefining success. For many women, redefining success on their own terms is a key part of embracing personal freedom. This might mean pursuing happiness, fulfillment, and personal growth instead of adhering to external measures of success, such as career advancement, marriage, or societal approval. Challenging norms. Finally, women can challenge traditional societal norms by questioning the assumptions and expectations that underlie them. This process involves critically examining the cultural forces that shape women's roles and finding ways to challenge or subvert these expectations in order to create more equitable and empowering narratives for future generations. The tension between societal expectations and personal freedom remains one of the most significant dilemmas women face today. While women have made significant progress in gaining the right to define their own lives, the pressure to conform to traditional roles persists. However, through self-awareness, boundary setting, and the creation of supportive networks, women can reclaim their autonomy and create lives that reflect their true selves. Overcoming suffering, insights from Jordan Peterson's Rules for Life. Introduction. Suffering is an inevitable part of the human condition. It can manifest in various forms: emotional pain, physical hardship, loss, failure, and existential crises, and it is a challenge that everyone must confront at some point in life. Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life provides a roadmap for individuals seeking to navigate the complexities of suffering and find meaning in the face of adversity. His approach integrates insights from psychology, philosophy, and mythology, offering practical guidance for transforming suffering into a source of growth and resilience. This section will explore how Peterson's rules serve as a framework for understanding and overcoming suffering. By drawing on his teachings, we will examine how individuals can develop a sense of responsibility, discipline, and meaning that enables them to endure and grow through life's inevitable struggles. Peterson emphasizes the importance of confronting hardship head-on and taking ownership of one's life, as opposed to falling into victimhood or despair. This mindset is key to overcoming suffering and living a fulfilling, meaningful life. We will delve into specific rules from Peterson's book that offer valuable insights into managing suffering, including how to take responsibility for one's actions, find purpose through hardship, and build a meaningful life in a world filled with challenges. 1. Taking responsibility, the key to overcoming suffering. One of the central tenets of Peterson's philosophy is the idea of personal responsibility. He argues that suffering arises not only from external circumstances but also from our reactions to those circumstances. Instead of blaming others or external forces for our suffering, Peterson encourages individuals to take responsibility for their own lives, regardless of the difficulties they face. By taking responsibility, individuals acknowledge that they have the power to shape their own fate. Peterson emphasizes that the act of assuming responsibility is liberating because it restores a sense of agency. When we accept that we are responsible for our actions, we also accept that we can change, improve, and influence the course of our lives. This mindset is empowering and provides a pathway out of helplessness and despair. Facing the chaos head-on. Peterson often speaks about the importance of confronting chaos and suffering rather than avoiding it. Life is unpredictable and chaotic, but avoiding these realities only deepens the sense of helplessness and suffering. By facing challenges directly, individuals not only confront their fears and pain but also begin to master them. Peterson suggests that embracing responsibility is the first step in this process. The power of small acts of responsibility. For many, the idea of taking full responsibility for one's life can feel overwhelming. Peterson, however, suggests that individuals can start small. Small acts of responsibility, such as organizing one's room, sticking to a daily routine, or fulfilling commitments, can have a profound impact on a person's sense of control and well-being. These actions, while seemingly insignificant, build momentum and create a foundation for larger changes in life. 2. Finding meaning in suffering, the role of purpose. Another central theme in 12 Rules for Life is the idea that meaning is the antidote to suffering. Peterson argues that individuals can endure great suffering if they have a strong sense of purpose that gives their lives direction and significance. Without meaning, suffering becomes unbearable, and individuals are more likely to succumb to despair or nihilism. Suffering as an opportunity for growth. Peterson teaches that suffering is not something to be avoided or minimized, but rather an inherent part of the human experience that can lead to growth. When individuals face suffering with the mindset that it offers an opportunity to develop strength, wisdom, or resilience, they can begin to reframe their struggles as part of a larger, more meaningful narrative. For instance, Peterson draws on the concept of logotherapy developed by Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, who argued that the pursuit of meaning in life is the key to overcoming suffering. Peterson suggests that individuals who find meaning in their suffering are more likely to emerge from adversity stronger and more purposeful. Purpose as a guiding force. In times of suffering, having a purpose can act as a guiding force that helps individuals stay focused and motivated. Peterson suggests that finding purpose, whether through relationships, work, personal growth, or contribution to others, provides a sense of direction in times of hardship. This purpose acts as a stabilizing anchor in a world full of uncertainty and challenge. 3. Discipline and structure, building resilience through routine. Another important aspect of overcoming suffering is developing discipline and structure in one's life. Peterson stresses the importance of order and routine as tools for managing the chaos of life. While suffering is inevitable, having a clear sense of structure allows individuals to navigate difficulties with greater resilience. The power of routine. One of the key rules Peterson offers is to set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. This rule emphasizes the importance of personal discipline and order in one's immediate environment. By creating a structured, organized space, individuals can cultivate a sense of control and stability, which is crucial in times of suffering. Routine, though often seen as mundane, provides a framework for managing the unpredictability of life. Peterson encourages individuals to engage in daily habits that foster discipline, such as setting goals, maintaining physical health, and sticking to a consistent schedule. These practices not only help manage external chaos but also provide a sense of internal calm and focus. Self-discipline as a pathway to strength. Peterson advocates for the development of self-discipline as a means of building personal strength and resilience. The act of disciplining oneself, whether it is through physical exercise, mental focus, or emotional regulation, strengthens an individual's ability to cope with adversity. By mastering oneself, individuals gain the tools to overcome external suffering and maintain a sense of agency, no matter the circumstances. 4. The role of compassion and empathy in overcoming suffering. Peterson's teachings also emphasize the importance of compassion and empathy, not only towards others but also towards oneself. The process of overcoming suffering is not solely about personal strength, it also involves acknowledging and addressing the emotional and psychological needs of oneself and others. Being compassionate towards oneself. Many people struggle with suffering because they are too harsh on themselves. Peterson encourages individuals to be compassionate and understanding towards themselves during difficult times. Self-compassion allows individuals to process pain and suffering without self-blame or self-criticism. By practicing kindness toward oneself, individuals can heal and build resilience in a way that is gentle, rather than punitive. The power of helping others. Peterson also emphasizes the importance of helping others in the face of suffering. Often, in the act of supporting others, individuals can find their own sense of purpose and meaning. When suffering feels unbearable, contributing to the well-being of others can provide a sense of fulfillment and remind individuals of the interconnectedness of human experience. Creating purpose without a traditional family structure. Introduction. For many people, the traditional family structure, comprising marriage, children, and a shared household, has long been viewed as the primary source of purpose and fulfillment. Historically, these roles have been regarded as essential to creating meaning in life, offering individuals a sense of belonging, responsibility, and connection. However, in the modern world, many individuals are choosing non-traditional paths that diverge from the established family model. Whether due to personal choice, cultural shifts, or changing priorities, the idea that family is the only or primary source of purpose is being increasingly questioned. This section will explore how individuals can create purpose and meaning in their lives without adhering to the conventional family structure. We will examine how alternative forms of connection, responsibility, and personal growth can provide fulfillment in a world that values individual autonomy and self-expression. By considering different approaches to building meaningful lives, we will explore the power of choice, community, and self-determination in creating a sense of purpose outside of traditional familial roles. 1. Defining purpose outside traditional family roles. The first step in creating purpose outside of a traditional family structure is to challenge the assumption that family is the sole or most significant source of meaning. While family can undoubtedly provide love, support, and a sense of belonging, it is not the only avenue through which individuals can find fulfillment. For many people, particularly those who are single, childless, or have chosen alternative forms of family structures, purpose is derived from a combination of personal passions, career goals, friendships, and contributions to society. Personal growth and self-development. One of the most powerful sources of purpose is the pursuit of personal growth. In a world where self-actualization is increasingly valued, individuals have the opportunity to invest in themselves, whether through education, hobbies, fitness, or creative pursuits. By developing new skills, exploring new interests, and striving for self-improvement, individuals can create a sense of purpose that is deeply personal and independent of traditional family dynamics. Personal growth can also involve overcoming personal challenges, expanding one's worldview, and making a meaningful impact on others through mentorship, teaching, or supporting causes that align with one's values. This sense of purpose often transcends familial relationships and creates a deeper connection to the broader world. Career and vocational fulfillment. Career choices can also play a central role in creating purpose outside of the family unit. Many individuals find meaning and fulfillment in their work, especially when they pursue careers that align with their passions, talents, and values. Whether in the arts, sciences, healthcare, education, or business, individuals who dedicate themselves to their work can find a strong sense of purpose in their professional lives. Work can also provide opportunities for personal achievement, social connection, and contributing to society. For those who may not have a traditional family structure, a career can become a meaningful source of identity and fulfillment, offering not only financial stability but also personal satisfaction and pride. 2. Building meaningful relationships outside of family. Although traditional family structures offer connection and belonging, individuals can cultivate meaningful relationships with friends, colleagues, mentors, and community members. These relationships can serve as sources of emotional support, companionship, and shared purpose. Friendships as chosen family. One of the most significant alternatives to traditional family relationships is the concept of chosen family. Friendships, particularly those that are deep, long-lasting, and supportive, can provide many of the same benefits that biological families offer. Friends can act as emotional anchors, trusted confidants, and sources of joy and comfort. In many cases, friends are the ones who share in life's milestones, offer guidance during difficult times, and provide a sense of belonging. Many individuals who choose non-traditional paths find that their friendships become even more significant as they navigate life without the support of a traditional family unit. The chosen family concept celebrates the idea that we have the power to create our own support networks, allowing for greater flexibility and autonomy in choosing who to rely on for emotional, psychological, and practical support. Building communities of like-minded individuals. In addition to personal relationships, individuals can create a sense of purpose through involvement in communities that align with their values and interests. Whether through religious or spiritual groups, social justice organizations, professional networks, or hobby-based clubs, communities provide opportunities for shared purpose and collaboration. By engaging with others who share common goals, individuals can forge meaningful connections that help them feel rooted and engaged in the world. Community involvement also offers opportunities for leadership, service, and contribution, all of which can create a strong sense of purpose. These connections can help mitigate the loneliness that may sometimes be felt by those without traditional family support and offer a platform for personal growth, learning, and mutual care. Fostering a sense of responsibility and contribution. Another way to create purpose outside of a traditional family structure is by assuming responsibility for causes or initiatives that matter to you. Purpose often arises from the act of contributing to something larger than oneself. This could involve dedicating time and resources to social causes, volunteering, mentoring, or even creating something of lasting value. Volunteering and social contribution. Many individuals find profound purpose in volunteering and contributing to their communities or society at large. Whether helping the homeless, working with youth, advocating for environmental sustainability, or supporting marginalized groups, individuals who dedicate themselves to causes greater than their own personal interests often experience a deep sense of fulfillment. Volunteering not only allows individuals to make a positive impact on others but also fosters a sense of connectedness and shared humanity. These contributions can provide a sense of meaning, especially when they are aligned with one's personal values and passions. Creative and intellectual contributions. Another avenue for creating purpose is through creative expression or intellectual endeavors. Whether through art, writing, music, or scientific research, the act of contributing something unique to the world can provide a powerful sense of accomplishment and meaning. Creativity often thrives outside the constraints of traditional family roles, allowing individuals to focus on innovation, expression, and exploration. Many people who choose non-traditional paths find that their creative and intellectual pursuits provide a sense of purpose that is self-defined and deeply rewarding. These contributions not only benefit the individual but also enrich the broader culture, providing something of lasting value for future generations. 4. Redefining family and relationships in modern society. As society continues to evolve, so too does the concept of family. Today, family can be defined in various ways, and it's no longer limited to the traditional model of parents, children, and a shared household. The rise of diverse family structures, such as single-parent families, blended families, same-sex couples, and cohabiting partners, reflects the shifting landscape of what it means to belong and be supported. Alternative family models. As more people choose non-traditional paths, they are redefining the concept of family. For some, family is not limited to biological relationships but extends to close friends, colleagues, and community members who share common bonds. These alternative family structures can provide a rich source of support, love, and care, challenging the assumption that family must follow a specific form. The growing recognition of chosen families and non-traditional relationships allows for a broader understanding of how individuals can create meaning and belonging outside of conventional familial roles. Embracing flexibility and autonomy. One of the key benefits of living without the traditional family structure is the freedom and autonomy it offers. Individuals can design their lives according to their own needs, desires, and aspirations. This flexibility allows them to pursue various paths without the constraints that might come with more rigid family expectations. Whether living alone, in a non-traditional partnership, or as part of a non-biological family, people today have more freedom to create the kind of life that is most fulfilling to them. As we conclude today's discussion, we've explored how to find meaning and purpose without adhering to the traditional family structure. It's clear that fulfillment doesn't always have to come from societal expectations or conventional roles. Whether through personal growth, building chosen families, or contributing to the world around us, each of us has the power to shape our lives in meaningful ways. From taking responsibility for our choices to cultivating deep relationships with others, we have the ability to create purpose in a world that celebrates individuality and autonomy. Remember, the journey to fulfillment isn't defined by any one path. It's about embracing your unique journey, your passions, and your personal growth. So, as you move forward in your life, ask yourself, what does purpose mean to you? How can you build a life that truly reflects who you are and what you value most? The road to meaning is open, and it's yours to explore. It may not always be easy, but it will always be yours to define. Thank you for joining us today. Take your first step towards creating the life you truly desire, one filled with purpose and passion. We believe in your journey.